Peter Farrelly, Green Book. Before we get started, we want to just take a moment to acknowledge where we are tonight. This is a land that has been taken care of for thousands of years by the First Nations of this country. It's the treaty territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit and the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Huron-Wendat. Anybody from the Mississaugas in the house tonight? We're just applauding. Okay. Those are out-of-towners, that's a sub. This film is eligible for our most important prize. That's the Girls People's Choice Award. That's the award that you vote for, so please remember to vote. You can do that by going online to tiff.net/vote. Big thanks to Universal Pictures for bringing us this film. And you know, when Universal called up about Green Book, we had been tracking this film for a while, and we were very excited that it was going to be ready. It tells a story that can feel like it is just speculative fiction. If you could imagine, there was a time when if you crossed a border, you would be subject to abuse, discrimination, violence, even death. It's a good thing that doesn't happen anymore. That border was the Mason-Dixon line between the north and south of the United States. And if you were black, that was a dangerous border to cross. But it's a border that the musician Don Shirley chose to cross in 1962. This is his story. It's a remarkable, true story, and I am so pleased that Peter Farrelly has brought it to the screen. And you might be thinking, Peter Farrelly? Well, he is a filmmaker who's made some of the most iconic comedies in film history, including Dumb and Dumber, There's Something About Mary, Me, Myself, and Irene, Shallow Hal, The Heartbreak Kid, and Dumb and Dumber 2. But if you've been watching Peter's films closely, you'll know that in all of that crazy, outrageous comedy, there's always heart, there's always emotion, there's always a deep understanding of his characters, and that means that he's equally able to tell a drama and have it work just as well. And so we were thrilled to see this film. We wanted to have it, and we're so pleased that we're here presenting the world premiere tonight to you. And I want you to join me in welcoming the director, Peter Farrelly.
This is an unbelievable honor to be here. He didn't have to mention Dumb and Dumber 2, but I do appreciate the intro. Now, I want you to know, in all my years in the film business, this is my first film festival. Tell you how excited I am to be here. I've been thinking about this for months and praying before that we would get in here, because of all the film festivals in the world, this is the big one. Thank you so much, and I'm not going to go on because we're going to talk afterwards, but I do want to introduce the people that have made this happen, starting with the people at Participant Media. Jeff Skoll, fantastic. Lindsay, Robert Kessel. I want to thank everybody at Universal. Donna Langley, of course. Jim Hurwitz. I want to thank the people at Amblin. Steven Spielberg, you've heard of him. Jeff Brody. The people at Cinetech. John Sloss, Steve Farneth, and I have to thank my manager Jeff Oken, Joe Mann, my agent, and mostly lawyers get a bad rap, but my lawyers are the hardest working lawyers in the world. I can't tell you how many times this thing almost fell apart, And if not for Cindy Gessner and Peter Grossman, I would not be here today. So let's start with the producers, leading off with the probably the greatest woman on the planet, Octavia Spencer. Because I left him out of the last introduction, and he is probably the most important guy at the studio to help get this made, and that's Jonathan King. And I don't want to leave anybody out. We will go Ted Virtue. Ted Virtue. The writers, starting with Nick Vallelonga. This story is based on his father's and the man who, the other writer, the guy who brought me this idea is Brian Currie. Thank God for that. Kwame Parker, where are you? Kwame's one of our producers and we can't find him. Kwame Parker. Get up here. It's too modest to come on the stage, so we have to drag him up. And Kwame's family's here. Thanks so much for being here, Kwame. I want to introduce our unbelievable composer, Chris Bowers. Let's keep going here. Then a few other actors here. Let me see. I will start with Sebastian Maniscalco. Sebastian Maniscalco. You gotta be here somewhere. Oh, is that him? Okay. Another modest man. Probably the best stand-up comic in the world today. Mike Hatton, are you up here? Mike Hatton. Lindsay Brice, where are you? Lindsay Brice. There you are. Is Dimiter here? Dimiter Marinov, where are you? And Joe Cortese. Joe Cortese. Quinn Duffy. Quinn Duffy, where are you? I think we're getting to the end here, but let's not forget. Where are we here? I want to get the order right. Okay, Linda Cardellini. And the wonderful, unbelievable, the only guy I've met who's nicer than the Dalai Lama, Mahershala Ali. The man that every woman on the planet hates, Viggo Mortensen. Thanks so much. Enjoy it, and we'll see you afterwards.